Hello, good morning everyone. So for today's meeting, we will be talking about or we will be moving on to our next topic. So supposedly we will be having a performance to the dances from the past, but as we have agreed to all the PE teachers, we we will not be giving you the task for dances from the past since it's really quite difficult for you to at least come up a performance since dances from the past requires much more of your time and your practice. So as we move on to our next topic, everyone, grade 12. So we will be moving on to dances towards 21st century. So to start off, we will be talking first at least a development, or shall we say an evolution, but not literally an evolution, but at least a development to the dances that was emerged during the 16th century, 17th century, 18, 19, 20, up to now, or up to the 21st century. Okay, so to start off, we will be talking dances in the late 16th and 17th century. So during this century, everyone, this century, they consider their performances as a form of professional entertainment, which they call this one as court ballet. So court ballet is actually a performance, a ballet performance, which usually held and happens in a court or at court, which is more likely the audience and the casts are supplied by the ruling classes. So which means the casts, the audience were supplied by the ruling classes. So which means the ruling classes or the royal bloods are the ones who supplies for their costumes and for the for everything that they need or for the performers that they need. Okay? And at this or during this century, the male performers will act as the role or will act both roles, male and female roles. Okay? And moving on, or as the century moves on or continues in the 18th century, this was the year that the ballroom dancing was then started, but not yet or not fully established. Ballroom dancing and theatrical performances were then separated technically and aesthetically. Okay? So, when we talk about theatrical performances, these are performances that are purely acting, or performances or theatrical performances also combines acting, singing, as well as dancing. They have integrated, or during this period, they have integrated ballet performances into their theater or into a theatrical performances. Okay? And or on this century, there was already a separation also to the role. Sa una or 16th and 17th century, male performers were only be performing that will act as male and female. But during this period, male can also do the lead role, but female can also do lead role. So it's already separated. And on 19th century, this was the time that the ballroom dancing or the social dancing was then established. Okay, so it was the time that it was then established, and then since it was then established, this was also the time that the dance masters will then give dance etiquettes in which the audience, or shall we say the performers, will then follow. Okay, so dance etiquette. So most likely if it's ballroom dancing, so it's done or it must be performed by couple. Okay, so which means a man and a woman. So the nature, most likely this is a man and a girl will have to at least wear sophisticated costumes. Okay, a man should also do the stand, or should also stand erect, and the female should also stand erect as part of the dance etiquette. Okay, so moving on to the next century, in the early 20th century, this was the time that the music was then also evolved. So when we talk about the music evolved, that means the music then, the rhythm of the music was then changed, and it's more likely more into upbeat music. Okay, so this was the time that on the early 20th century, this was also the time that foxtrot, charleston, rumba, the samba, cha-cha-cha was then popular or prominent during this time. And as 20th century passes or moves on the late 20th century, famous artists was then, shall we say, emerged. So daghan ng mga artists nga ni emerge and ni popularized. So which means famous artists with their famous or popular music. So one of the examples that were famous during the late 20th century is, I know you all know this person, Michael Jackson. This was just some or one of the very famous artists which also has its popular music and as well as the popular dance that was been popularized by Michael Jackson. Another example is we also have Madonna. Okay? There are actually many famous artists during the late 20th century. So I know wala pa siguro gid mo natawo ani during this time, but since or at least even up to this time, you can still hear those music that they have been popularized before. Okay? And for the 21st century, this is actually the recent time. So when we talk about popular dance or popular music, this is actually a music or a dance in which it is famous, prominent, and popular in a particular time. So kung 21st century, this is the recent time. So karon nga time. Okay? So ang mahitabo ani, there are actually many dances. I know you have known na uban diri mga TikToker. I know you have performed and even danced and performed some of these popular dances in the year 2020. So all the things that we have talked right now will be the things that you will also be performing. Okay? So, to give you the instructions for your performance task, you will then be grouped into 4. Okay, the same group that you have last time in your fundamentals. I guess you are all grouped into 4. So which means you will be assigned into a particular dance. I have prepared sets of dances and I will be the one to at least assign to you your specific dances. Okay? So the dances that I have prepared are the following. We have the YMCA Macarena, the Michael Jackson, any songs that were popularized by Michael Jackson. So these are the things that you'll be performing. Same as Madonna. So any songs, any dance hits that were popularized by Madonna, such as naatay mga example, sa kang Michael Jackson, we have Billie Jean, Beat It, Smooth Criminal, and also Thriller. For Madonna, very famous, we have Like a Virgin and Material Girl. Okay? And the last dance that you will be performing is the popular dance, pop dance in the year 2020. So there are actually many options. That you will have to choose for you to at least perform. Okay? So here's the instruction. So, you will have, or each group will have to create a 3 to 5 minute video dance performance of your assigned dance. Again, you will have to create a 3 to 5 minute video presentation of your assigned dance. So if so ever you will be assigned to YMCA and Macarena, so you will have to stick for the content. You will be graded also for the content. So for the content, make it sure that you will have to perform your assigned dance. If for example, you will be assigned to YMCA and Macarena, that means you will have to utilize the music YMCA and Macarena. But here's the twist. I want you to think outside the box. I want you to use your creativity with regards to the music. It's because There's the twist. You have to add twist on it. It's because I don't want you to stick into the original YMCA and Macarena. So what's the twist there is you can add something on it. Pwede bang ang YMCA, pwedeng ang YMCA, imuhang mixan og rhythm or beat nga Latin beat. Para at least imuhang i-perform ang YMCA into a Latin beat. Same as sa Macarena. Pwede nimong i-hip hop. Ang beat niya is nabaroy hip hop. Pero Macarena, boom Macarena, 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 ala makasa Macarena, Macarena. So yung ana, nagkasinabot. Next, for Michael Jackson and Madonna. For Michael Jackson and Madonna, you will have to choose as many as you can. You can splice the music, and I suggest that you do not just stick into one song, because Madonna and Michael Jackson popularized many songs. So at least magpili mo og 2 or more songs in which inyuhang i-perform. Okay? Pwede ba ron nga sa Thriller, sa group, each group has 9 members man. So pwede ba ron duha ka members ni gawas didto sa first nga video, or usa ba ron nag-Thriller, nag-ungungo sad siya didto. Okay, nya mo gawas tayo ni kalit lag shift another na pod nga ni perform og another hit, another dance hits of Michael Jackson. Same as with Madonna. And for the pop dance, for the popular dance, there are actually many choices. But I want you to choose at least those songs, those dance nga dance gyud siya. Dili kay katong painitin mo ang ulam challenge, katong mga tahong ni Carla, okay ra basta di lang mag hubo-hubo. Kay kung maghubo-hubo, maglain ang kabuhi ni Sir. Palihog yung taon, ayaw lang yung taon mo paghubo-hubo, okay? Nagkasinabot. Next, for the costume, this is under creativity. Okay, for your costume, I want you to use costume that is appropriate to your assigned dance. If for example, you will be assigned to YMCA, sa Madonna baron, like a virgin and material girl niya, mag-PPE mo din ha. That's not appropriate. Okay? So YMCA, this is more likely of working men based on the lyrics. So more likely, yung costume, mag-working men ba mo na, mag-nurse, mag-police, mag-seaman, and so on and so forth. And for your costume, I don't want you to spend your money for your costume. You can actually ask someone from your silingan, ate, kuya, igagaw, silingan nga uyab, kay naa sila uyab nga silingan, sana all na uyab nga silingan. Kuha? And for the pop dance, freestyle, this is more of freestyle. But, ayaw lang yun paghubo. Dili lang yun magbra og magpanty, yung mag-twerk, basin mo kay buhok, ang mga ngilit-ngilit din ha, maklaro, ngit-ngit kaayo, ayaw lang sad. Okay? Are we all clear? And for the submission of your video, you will have to upload your video sa YouTube. Again, you will have to upload your video sa YouTube, and then, since it's a group work, so there will be at least one who will upload the video sa YouTube, and then that person, that student, will be the one to share or to give the link to his or her group members. It's because this performance task will be assigned to the M-Courser. So which means individually, or each one of you from the group will be submitting their link sa M-Courser. Klaro? The deadline for this performance task, since love man gyud kay nako, love man gyud kaayo ta mo, so which means I will give you 2 weeks or more for this performance task. So which means you will have to submit this one on the 2nd week of November. That ranges from November 9 to November 13. Okay? Again, anytime, any day for that week. The last will be November 13. Okay? So, your groupings, again, as I've said, your groupings, you have to stick with your groupings from your first performance task, which is the fundamentals. So, this performance task as well, the Dances Towards 21st Century serves as your second performance task, and it will also be recorded as your first quarter exam. Okay? So I guess those are all for today. Thank you so much, everyone. Keep safe, and I love you. Goodbye. Thank you so much.